Hey team, it is Crystal Milligan here, and I am so excited to be talking with you today. Thank you for spending some time with me. I really am excited about what I am about to bring to you. I just want to let you know that you should get a pen and paper, because there's going to be a million notes. There's lots of great nuggets. There are great bullet points, and you're going to want to write these down, and you're going to want to implement these. So if you are driving, you're probably going to want to listen to this again, but it's just going to be great. So I have been reading the 6 Months to Six Figures book. And I was a little taken back by the name. Well, yes, that's great and everything. 6 months to six figures. I'm not very focused, or I don't want to be very money focused. I love to focus on actually helping people and stuff. So I was taken back by the name at first, but let me tell you, it has provided so far excellent information for our business in general, as far as action taking and mentality and all of that great stuff. So I highly recommend it. And that is where this training is coming from. So we are talking about increasing your confidence and how that is going to lead to increased success. I'm going to bring you 8 different steps, 8 different tips of what to do, what not to do, all of that kind of stuff. And it's going to be awesome. So just to start out, every action you take, everything you do either brings you closer or further away from your goals, right? So whatever you're doing right now, the fact that you're listening to personal development, it is bringing you closer to your goals, because you are, refining your thoughts. You are helping, to increase your knowledge and work on your growth. And so every action you take and everything you do brings you either closer or further away from your goals. I want you to start thinking in that mindset. Most people don't think that the small choices matter, when in fact, they're really all that matter. Once you gain clarity on your goals, who you are, and why you're doing what you're doing, your confidence is going to instantly increase. If you're kind of just like going at it and you have no idea what you're doing and you're kind of just going with the flow and going which way the wind blows you, you are not going to be very confident. So when you know why you're doing it and what your goals are and what you want to accomplish out of this, you start to become laser focused. And then what's going to happen after that confidence instantly increases is it's going to help your progress, your relationships, basically everything in your life. When you are confident, everything changes. Because unsuccessful people are going to make decisions based off of their feelings, right? And that's most people, unfortunately. Most people make decisions based off of their feelings. I know I have in the past a million times, and I still struggle with that. If they don't feel like working out, then they don't do it. Or, if they don't feel like getting up early, then they don't. They choose inaction. So when we think that they're not making a choice, they really are making a choice, and they're choosing inaction. And at the end of every feeling is nothing. But at the end of every principle is a promise. So I'll tell you this: successful people make decisions first, regardless of their feelings. And when they decide something, that's what they do. And then they feel amazing afterwards, right? So if they say they're going to work out 5 times a week, when that alarm goes off and they don't feel like working out and they want to hit snooze, they get up and they make it happen anyways, because they're not doing things based on their feelings. They know that working out 5 times a week is going to have a reward. It's going to give them more energy on the other side of it. It's going to help them get the physique that they want. And that's what successful people do. So one of the biggest ways to build your self-esteem is to do what you say you're going to do. Let me say that again. One of the biggest ways to build your self-esteem is to do what you say you're going to do. So again, if you say you're going to work out 5 times a week, then do it. If you say you're going to invite 50 people this week, then do it, right? Follow through with your word. Be a person of integrity. When you don't do it, your confidence decreases. Successful people, like I said, they make a decision to do something, and even when they don't feel like it, they pause briefly and they say, I don't care how I feel. I'm a person of my word, and I'm committed to doing this. And then they make it happen. They take action regardless of how they feel, and as an end result, they feel exceptional. It builds confidence, it builds respect, and it builds income by making a decision to just see it through. Now, it sounds simple enough, right? But I challenge you to think for a second. Am I a person of my word? Sure. I'm sure in most things you are. If you say you're going to be somewhere, you show up somewhere or whatnot. But are you a person of your word within this business, I ask you? So when you say that, okay, I'm going to do my power hour at this time and get it done. I'm going to make X, Y, and Z happen. I'm going to invite this person. I'm going to step out of my comfort zone. Are you that person who sticks to what you say you're going to do? I am not perfect, but we're works in progress. And it's not easy, but we must focus on the rewards, right? The rewards of it on the other side. And we'll talk more about this in a little bit, but it does get easier the more that you do it, the more that you dive in, and the more that you face those fears and you get out of those comfort zones, the easier that it gets. So remember this, the choices that you make you successful. People make choices based on who they want to become versus being comfortable in the moment. Sorry, successful people, I should say, make choices based on who they want to become versus being comfortable in the moment. So if you want to be a success, and I'm sure you do because that's why you're here, then think about, why do I want this? And what do I want to become? Of course, we all want to be comfortable. That's human nature. We want to be comfortable and stay in our comfort zones and our little bubbles and never leave our white picket fence yards and all of that kind of stuff. We want to stay cozy and warm, and we never want to get out of our beds. All of that kind of stuff, that's human nature. But the choices that you make each and every single time are going to help towards that confidence or not. So think about it this way. One workout is not going to make or break you, right? You've seen that little meme about how one meal won't make you fat or skinny. One workout is not going to, give you rockin' abs or whatever or anything else. But that being said, every time you do that, and hey, again, we're human and we're talking about not perfection, but progress, right? But every time you do that, you are decreasing your confidence in yourself. And that might be even bigger than the physical reward or anything else, right? Because often a lot of us lack in confidence, right? And that's why we say, oh, I have a hard time with this business. Oh, I'm not confident. Oh, I'm scared. Oh, I'm not good at that, blah, 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 blah. And we put up all these ideas in our head, and that becomes our truth because we've spoken that to ourselves for so long. So you need to start reversing that. You need to start moving the other way, and we're going to start moving forward towards confidence and not turning our back on it. And so you're going to have to let go of some bad habits as well. So here is the 8 steps, the 8 tips that are going to get you started into being more confident. So number 1, choose growth. Choose growth. You always have 2 choices. Like we just said already, the hard or the easy, right? Choose to make decisions based off your standards and goals instead of your emotions and feelings. Start small and be consistent. It's the compound effect. All of you, I'm sure, have read The Compound Effect or are reading it if you're a brand new coach. It's one of the books that we talk about reading when you first come in. It's by Darren Hardy. It's super cheap if you haven't read it yet. You can get it for like, I think, $6. You should have been reading it, or you should have read it at some point, because it's true that those small, consistent daily efforts are what's going to make the largest impact over the long haul. So choose to make decisions based off of your standards and your goals instead of your emotions and feelings. Tony Robbins says, you know Tony Robbins, it's in the moments of decisions where your destiny is shaped, right? So those decisions that we're making on a regular basis, it's in those moments. So what choices can you start making today that are going to increase your confidence account? So you're going to make the choice of growth, right? So maybe you can make a choice of getting outside your comfort zone and posting a before and after on your Facebook page. Maybe that's something that scares the heck out of you, but you're going to push past that fear and you're going to share that to further promote your business and to share with other people so that they know what is possible and they know what you've accomplished and you're sharing it with the world. Maybe you're going to choose growth in the fact that you're going to push yourself past an invite. So you're going to invite twice the amount of people that you've ever invited before it come this December. And you're going to get out of your comfort zone that way and you're choosing growth like that. Maybe you have been horrible at personal development, because we all know that there are those people that do it. There's people who love personal development and there's people who struggle. And I know for me personally, I was one of those people in the beginning who didn't do personal development at all. I know I have coaches that don't do it regularly and people suffer from that, right? So if we're going to choose growth, then we're going to start doing more personal development. So what choices can you start making today that will increase your confidence account? And choosing growth. How can you get on that growth pattern that's going to move you in that right direction? Number 2, challenges. The moment that you go after your goals, challenges are going to show up. It's inevitable. It's to test to see if you're serious, right? What? Like, we don't think that, right? We think, oh, I'm going after my dream. It's so exciting. This is going to be amazing. It's going to be this perfect little straight line, right? You've ever seen that picture where it has that road to success? It's not like this. It's like this and this and that, because there is no straight and narrow road to success. The moment that you go after your dreams, that you go after your goals, challenges are going to show up. So I want you to just start thinking, I'm going to accept this. I know that there's going to be hard times and I'm going to get through them, because that's what happens often. We have coaches who will have some great success and they'll be just jamming along and everything seems like it just kind of flows naturally and it's been pretty easy for them. And then all of a sudden they have a hard month, or people aren't just saying yes to them anymore. People are actually telling them no. And that is the test to see who is serious, right? Excuse me. So if it doesn't challenge you, it won't change you. And we need this to change us, right? We need this to change us. If it didn't take much work, then everyone would be doing it. And then it wouldn't be worth much, right? So if everyone was doing it, then what great would it be? What good would it be? And it wouldn't be as much of an accolade to achieve, right? So it's always those things that are going to be hard, but they're so worth it on the other end. With challenges, you're going to gain experience and a new perspective, which is huge, because then you're getting that perspective that is going to help move you forward, that's going to help you overcome. Right? So now it's not the perspective of fear and unknown and all of that kind of stuff. It is the perspective of like, oh, all right, I can do this. And again, when the next challenge comes, then it's a little bit easier and you keep moving forward and it gets a little bit easier the next time and a little bit easier the next time. We were talking about this on the diamond wall for our team the other day, and having challenges and what to do and where we're at and stuff like that. And one of the books that we referenced was The Entrepreneur Roller Coaster. And it is a great example, because often we say like, oh, this is, you know, be Be just confident, just do it. It's the compound effect. And we focus on the positive and just taking action. Whereas the entrepreneur roller coaster tells you, you are going to have haters. You are going to have people saying that you can't do this. You are going to have times where you have this distraction, that distraction, everything else. But when it comes to owning your own business, which you do, which might be intimidating in itself to you, but you have to overcome that. You have to overcome those fears, and you have to choose to move forward. So going into it with the mindset of knowing that I'm going to have challenges, and that's okay, because it's going to help me grow, and it's going to help me get better, and it's going to help me change my perspective, is going to be huge. So knowing that challenges are a given. They're going to happen no matter what. And so if you know that that's going to happen, it's going to be a lot easier to swallow when it comes to. So it's not what you do when you're at the top that makes you a great leader. It's what you do when you're at the bottom that determines your leadership ability, right? So a lot of people often say, like, I can't lead a team. I haven't done anything yet. Or I don't know what to do. I'm just a brand new coach as well. Well, if you consider yourself at the bottom, how are you going to lead your team? How are you going to lead yourself? How are you developing that leadership ability? We've talked in the past about seeing these teams rise really quickly, and multi-star diamond, whatever else. And then again, they've had kind of an easier path to making things happen. They have a great network or whatever else it happens to be. And then all of a sudden they have challenges and they struggle and they start going down and they don't know what to do. So it's at that moment that makes you a great leader. It's going to determine what kind of a leader you are and your leadership ability. If you want to strengthen your confidence account, don't wait on life to challenge you. Start challenging yourself, right? So don't wait for it to come at you. Dive headfirst into the challenges. So you're going to face your fears. You're going to get out of your comfort zone, and you're going to dive headfirst into it. Your adversity can become your advantage if the right perspective is adopted. What challenges have you gone through that have made you stronger, that have sharpened your perspective? We've all had them. There's been personal challenges in our lives. There's been professional challenges that we've overcome. And when you've overcome it, think of how amazing you feel, and you've learned from it and you've grown from it. So think about that for a second. Write down maybe one or two that come to your head and use that as motivation, as fuel for your fire. Okay, I did it then. I can do it again. I can overcome these challenges, and then I'm going to dive in and I'm going to start challenging myself. So don't wait for it to come at you. Today, start challenging yourself. I want you to do one hard thing this week. What's one hard thing that you are going to do? Again, it goes back to those growth and those choices that you're making. So that was number 2, challenges. Number 3, consistency. Ding, 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 ding. We always say that this is the most important kind of secret sauce, even though it's not a secret in the business. Consistency. Consistency is all about character. That's a little bit of a truth bomb, right? So can you do what you say you're going to do? Can you do what you say you're going to do? Again, it's following through with your word, being a person of integrity. Can people trust you when you say something? So maybe, let's just be real. Maybe you are the biggest flake on the planet and you have never followed through with anything that you have said, and you have given up on other businesses in the past, and you have tried this and failed. And the only reason why, just to say this, the only reason why you failed is because you quit. So let's say that you're that person. You can make the change. You can take the steps to start being a person of your word, start being a person of integrity, and building your confidence account today. You can change, and you might have to work an uphill battle because you have had that past and people don't have that automatic trust with you, but you can change and prove and grow over time. So if you are that person, start taking those steps to changing yourself today, being a different person, because consistency is all about character. Let's start changing that, right? People respect those that are consistent and stay the course, regardless of what the world throws at them. This business is all about getting people to know, like, and trust you. And that is why we are consistently posting on Facebook or on social media. We are letting people into our world. We are, quote unquote, building these relationships even through our posts. We're letting them see into us and who we are, and they're relating to us. And so they're knowing us, they're liking us, and then they're building that trust factor with us. And if we're not consistent and we're not staying the course, again, I didn't say that this was perfection, right? I never said it was perfection. So, hey, if you're a normal human being and you don't work out all the time, or maybe even it was just Thanksgiving and you said, oh, we're going to have a healthy Thanksgiving. This is the 5 steps of how we're going to do that. And then all of a sudden you come back and you say, oh my gosh, I just binged my butt off and I gained 5 pounds over the past weekend and I'm totally just have to eat my words. Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. And then you just decide to like jump off and say, oh, never mind. I'm going to go hide for a few days until I get back on the wagon or whatever. Or maybe you said, oh, I have to quit because like I totally just ate my words. No. You share that, you share and you are relatable and you say, oh my gosh, this is what just happened. And it's a journey, guys. It's a journey and there's no perfection and we're always consistently moving forward. I planned to try to be healthy, but I wasn't. And so now I'm learning from it and I'm choosing growth and I'm moving forward. And this week I'm going to do X, Y, and Z to get better. Right? So those are the things that you're going to do. So you're going to stay the course regardless of what the world throws at you. So, hey, you had a speed bump, you had a little hump in the road or whatever. You need to continue to keep moving forward, right? Same thing with personal struggles in life. Yes, of course, that stuff comes first in life, but here's the key. The consistency is going to be important. It will take you just a few minutes to be consistent in this, even when you're going through hard times, right? Even when you have no time to do it or anything else like that. If you take the few seconds out of your day to continuously post and to continuously be sharing and connecting and reaching out to people, it will pay off. Again, no matter what's going on all around you and the outsiders swirling around or the craziness, you need to stay consistent and stay the course no matter what the world is throwing at you, right? So here's an example. A one-time athlete, they get glory and they get all this fame. Maybe they, get this gold medal or something like that. And then it fizzles out. Versus the people who are consistent. Maybe they never won the gold medal, but they consistently were hitting silver year after year after year after year after year. Those people are going to be the ones that people remember. Or maybe, a star quarterback who wins the Super Bowl and they only do it once, or the star team that wins the Super Bowl once. Nobody's going to remember them. But the teams that have won it multiple times, years and years and years, they have like that legacy. Those are the teams that are remembered, or those are the quarterbacks that are remembered. Oops, a little update popped up on my thing. So when you stay consistent, you're going to bring momentum, right? That is huge. So we all look for the momentum in this business. We always talk about pumping the well, pump the well. So when you're brand new and you start pumping that well, so that well is inviting and connecting and posting consistently and reaching out, and you're pumping that well. And at first, not a whole lot of water comes out, right? And you're like, oh gosh, okay, is this really worth it? And you start questioning it and everything. And you say, I don't know, is it? And then you have to realize that it takes a little while of pumping the well to create that momentum. So Are you going to continue to work to create that momentum? When you stay consistent, you are bringing the momentum, right? So the consistency is huge. Again, it's the secret sauce that's not really a secret. So what would your life look like in 6 months if you were consistent? So right now, I want you to think about into May. What would your life look like in May if you were consistent? What would be different? What could you accomplish? So again, write that down. And I want you to literally visualize that after this call. What would my life look like in May if I were consistent with my business? If I put in my efforts every single day, if I got my power hour done every single day, if I worked out like I said I was going to, if I showed up to the team trainings like I said I was going to, what would that look like if I were consistent in May, 6 months from now? How would my business have grown and how would it be different? All right, number 4, repetition and daily practice. It is crucial to confidence. Crucial. You must practice. Okay, we are not born experts. We are not born professionals in this business. People say, oh, I'm not good at sales. Okay, well, first of all, it's not about sales. Second of all, no one was good when they first started. I verbally vomited all over everybody when I first started. And we'd say that because, you know, you're not supposed to like just, you get so excited when you're a brand new coach that you just, and you tell everybody too much and you tell them, you know, share all your excitement with them. And you often scare them away because you verbally vomit all over them and you're so excited. So repetition and daily practice are crucial to confidence. You must practice. If your goal is to be a world-class leader, read and listen to everything you can get your hands on a daily basis, right? So if you, whatever you want to be better in, then take that and say, start looking for YouTube videos, start looking for books on that when you're doing your personal development. So we've always talked about before doing 2 different types of personal development. One that is for your inner being, kind of like your spiritual, your personal growth and stuff like that, that's going to feed your soul. And then another is to focus on your weaknesses or focus on what you want to get better at. So if I want to be a better leader, I'm going to look up blogs that are giving me resources to be a better leader. I'm going to look up podcasts that are all about being a better leader. I'm going to look up YouTube videos that are about being a better leader and books that are about being a better leader. And I'm going to start listening to those and reading those and taking those notes and putting those into practice to become a better leader, right? So think about what your goal is and then start seeking out information on that topic, right? And become an expert in it. It takes, I think it's like 12,000 hours or something ridiculous like that, 10,000 hours before you're an expert in anything. So think about those people who are, you know, at the top, in the top 10 in this company within the first 2 years. Guess what? It's because they put in 40, 50, 60, 70 plus hours a week in order to get there. And that's why they jumped to that expert status right away. So the people who took, you know, take this, so they put in 10,000 hours over those 2 years. So then for me, maybe I put in those 10,000 hours over 4 years. And so that's okay. You can still, you're still going to have the success, but you have to put in the time to become better, right? So no one's going to look at you as an expert when you first start. And I know that's often something that holds new coaches back a lot of times is they say, well, I don't know anything about this, or I haven't learned everything in the back office yet, or I don't know. And you say, okay, you know that you're here for a reason and you feel good, right? And you jumped on this opportunity for a reason. Share your excitement in that. And then if you don't know everything, then you reach out to your upline coach who does, and they will help you, right? That's what it's all about. So in order to become the expert, quote unquote, or no one's ever an expert, but like in order to have that confidence, it's the repetition and the daily practice. So just like Kobe Bryant, right? He watches a million videos and he takes a million practice shots. I used to work at a gym where Kobe Bryant would practice, and he would be in there for hours just taking shots at the basketball hoop. And guess what? That's why he's so good at what he does. Same thing with Drew Brees, right? Why he's such a great quarterback. They say because he throws so he could do it in his sleep. He knows the routes, he knows the plays, so he could do it in his sleep because he's done it so many times, right? So don't just go to work, practice at getting better every day. So I want you to ask yourself, am I just going through the motions? Or am I aiming to get better every day? Are you? That's one more thing that I want you to sit here and as you're going through this and as you go back and reflect on everything that we've just been talking about, ask yourself, am I getting better every single day? Or am I setting that as my goal? Is that your goal, to get better every single day? So don't just go to work. Don't just show up, because that's often what we become accustomed to in this society, right? Is, we just got to get our 9 to 5 in, or 8 hours, clock it in, whatever else, dilly-dally on Facebook, blah, 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 blah. No, when you are a business owner, which you are now because this is your business and you are an entrepreneur, you don't just get to show up, right? You need to practice at getting better every single day and put in those efforts. Consciously challenge yourself with ways that you can add more value into the world tomorrow. So are you bringing value to the world? What value are you bringing? What do you have to offer? And are you sharing that with people? Are you sharing that with people? Like, that's another thing that holds people back often. When they're new coaches, or even in general in coaching, is people say, oh, I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to be salesy. Da, 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 da. But are you sharing, like, hi, you just have had amazing success with these products. Why wouldn't you want your friends and your family and people that you know to have amazing success as well? Would you share your favorite restaurant that just opened up? Would you share people and tell people about that? If you found a kick butt hairdresser who's rocking at her job and you were like, oh my gosh, she's amazing, would you share that? Of course you would. Of course you would. So how is this any different, right? So add some value into people's lives. Consciously challenge yourself to do that. Repetition and daily practice. Number 5 is courage. If you have big goals and dreams, don't expect others to follow you, because you represent the strength and the vision and courage that they don't yet have. So here is a big, big factor. A lot of times when we are in coaching, you will have naysayers and you will have people that will go against you. And you will have to have a lot of courage, because not everyone's going to be in your court. Not everyone's going to be cheering for you and be behind you 100%. And that breaks my heart, because I know I have coaches on my team who have experienced that or are experiencing that. But you have to have courage, because you have big goals that not everyone else can wrap their brains around. You are striving for more, whereas everybody else around you is set in this comfort zone, and they are living with fear and doubt, and they're letting that rule their world. So you are going to have courage. So you can't expect others to follow you, because you are having the strength and the vision and the courage that they don't have yet. And often they want to see your success in that first before they believe in it, right? So you have to believe in something, you know, in order to strive to do it first. It's not just going to fall into your lap and automatically happen, right? So are you doing things that scare you? Once you face your fears, they disappear, right? They're not so scary anymore. Once you act boldly, it makes it easier next time to make the tougher choice. And then pretty soon, every chance you take, it boosts your confidence, right? That's amazing. So all those things that you're so scared about, that you're so fearful over, when you start taking steps towards them, it's not going to be so scary anymore. So like we said before, choose growth. What's one choice that you can make today that's going to work towards growth? So you need to take that step, and you need to choose that. Sorry. It's the life with two toddlers. So an example, great example of this, and I don't know the exact quote, but you can look this quote up if you want to, with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is like this amazing go down in history basketball player, right? And Michael Jordan, there are so many shots that he did not make. Game-winning shots that he did not make, he said. There are so many times where he's supposedly failed, or where he's tripped up, or where he has, you know, made it so that they lost the game, or he lost the game. But he is a legend in basketball. He's a legend. And people don't focus now on the things that he did wrong. They only see his success. But he had to go through and face all of those fears and have the crushing heartache of knowing that you just missed the shot that you could have won the game multiple times in multiple games in his career. And he had to overcome that. If he would have quit, would he be the guy that's remembered, and would he be the guy that's in the history books? No. So you need to start taking those chances, making those choices to face your fears, and then they're not going to be so scary anymore. They're going to start to disappear, right? And then that's going to boost your confidence in itself. The fact that you are like kicking fear in the face, it's going to boost your confidence. Number 6, don't fear people. This goes along the same thing. So you have courage, you're gaining courage, and then don't fear people. The reason why people don't push the envelope is the fear of what others might think of them. I have so many coaches on my team that say this, but I'm afraid of what so-and-so. Why? I ask you this. Why? Why are you afraid of what people might think of you? What's going to happen if they think that you're silly, or they think that you are doing something that is ridiculous? What's going to happen? So are we reverting back to high school where we have to have a popularity contest? And do we really want these people to like us? And if they don't, what's going to happen, right? So if you want to live a life of significance and fulfillment, you must give up the need to be liked by everybody. That's huge. Did you hear that? If you want to live a life of significance and fulfillment, you must give up the need to be liked by everybody. Not everybody likes Beyonce. Shocking, I know, right? Not everyone likes Taylor Swift. Not everyone likes Kobe Bryant. All those people, they are going after their goals. They are making things happen. They are facing their fears and kicking them in the face. They are not afraid of people if they like them or not. They're not worried about that. Will Smith says, trying to get everyone to like you is the most common chosen road to mediocrity. So I encourage you to think about, why do I want people to like me? What is my fear that I have? And what is really going to be the outcome of that? So if they don't like me, what's the worst that's going to happen? Ask yourself that. Because if you fear people, then you will never be able to continue to move forward, right? You have to have that courage and realize that not everyone's going to approve of what you're doing. Not everyone's going to like you in life. And that's okay. That's okay. The more that you fear people, the less effective that you're going to become as a leader. And you are a leader when you are in this business, whether you have no coaches yet, or you have 2 discount coaches, or you have a team of thousands. You are a leader, and people are going to judge you regardless. So you might as well be who you're going to be. Number 7, comparing yourself to others. This is the root of all misery. All misery. If you compare yourself to others, you are going to be a miserable person, because you will never live up to everyone else's world, right? Because we always see the grass is greener. We never take a person and look at their entirety. So we never take a person and say, like a person who's successful in this business, and say, oh my gosh, what is their marriage perfect? And oh my gosh, are their kids perfect? And oh my gosh, is their house perfect? And are their friendships perfect? And we never take a person in their entirety, right? We always look at one aspect of a person, and then we compare ourselves to that. So we don't know how everything else has been going on or what's going down, right? So the root of all misery is comparison, and it's a common confidence killer. We start comparing ourselves to other people and our confidence starts taking notches down. So never let others' opinions guide your choices. You need to stay true to yourself and tune out the naysayers. And instead, tune into the only opinions that really matter, which are the people who are loving and supportive of you, the people who are yourself, your opinions that matter, right? The only person you should try to be better than is the person that you were the day before. We already talked about that, right? You want to be consistently moving forward and aiming to get better every single day. And so this goes along with it. So stop comparing yourself to others and focus on being a better version of you every single day. He gave an example in the book of a person that he was mentoring, and she wanted to be the top person in her company. And she was comparing herself to what other top coaches or it wasn't in this company, but other top people in her company have done. And he said, that is holding you back. Stop comparing yourself to others and start comparing yourself to yourself. Be a better version of yourself. And then guess what? When she started focusing on being a better version of herself rather than being like everyone else, that's when her business skyrocketed and she became what she wanted, the top person in her company. So if you want to reach greatness and blow your competitors out of the water, then you must focus on consistent progress and compare yourself to how you did the week before. When you make your competition the person in the mirror, you're going to succeed every single time. Number 8, last one, confident people. This is, well, you think like, duh, a given, but confident people. If you want to be confident, you have to surround yourself with confident people. If you don't have confidence, you will always find a way to lose. We all know those people, right? We know those people who are like, wah, wah. Oh, my day was so this, or oh, everything's going against me, or oh, nobody likes me, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And so those people are life suckers. They suck the life out of you. And unfortunately, if you surround yourself with them, you are going to become more like that person. You know the saying of you are the 5 people you surround yourself with, right? So you have to surround yourself with people who are confident, people who are crushing their goals, people who are moving forward, people who are kicking fear in the face. And that's why we talk about joining into doing these trainings, right? Like this, watching these trainings. And that's why we talk about getting success partners. And that's why we talk about getting into groups of like our Power Hour Zooms groups that we have going on, because these are people who are taking action and making things happen. And you want to surround yourself with people like that. So if you don't have confidence, you're always going to find a way to lose. So understanding this all is one thing, but implementing this is where transformation lies, right? So you could have taken the best notes ever, and you could have had so many like aha moments during this hopefully during this discussion and this training. But if you don't take any of it and start actually implementing it into your life, nothing is going to happen. You are going to stay the same, and you're going to say, well, I went to the weekly trainings. I showed up. Like, how come I'm not having success in this business and I'm not doing this? Because are you implementing everything? Are you implementing these things and having transformation occur? Right? Nobody was born with confidence. Nobody. Just the same thing. Nobody was born with the ability to be a top coach. It has to be over time, the efforts put in, the courage to face the fears, the ways to grow the personal development, everything else. We give you the tools. We tell you what to do. You just have to continue to do it and do it and do it and do it over and over and over again. That's it. That's it. So nobody was born with the confidence, and anybody, let me just say that again, anybody can improve their confidence. Just like I said a few minutes ago, how I said, like, maybe you're the person that, you know, was the flake in everything, right? Maybe you're the person who quit in everything and you weren't consistent. And we talked about your character and whatnot, because consistency is all about character, that you are a person of your word and you are a person of integrity. So maybe you're not that person, but here's the thing. Anybody can improve this. Anybody, right? We all lack confidence. We all have insecurities. We all have doubts. We all have fears. Guess what? The people who are in the top 200, the top 10, whatever it is in this company, they have doubts and fears and insecurities just like you do, just like you do. But they are putting these things into practice and they are overcoming. They are becoming more confident. They are working on it, right? So, but the goal is to do everything we can to lower our fears and doubts while increasing our confidence and skills. So we start pulling those fears and doubts this way, and we start pushing our confidence this way. And these 8 things are going to help you do that. If you implement these things and you put them into practice, that is going to start doing that. So when you have your notes here, I want you to post them up in your workspace somewhere. And I want you, every time that you are working, to look at those and say, okay, am I comparing myself to others? Squash it and nip it in the butt right away, right? Am I being consistent? Am I fearing people? No, nip that in the butt right now and continue to move forward, to choose growth, to go at the challenges and open your arms to them and say, all right, I'm ready to take it on. And you start looking for challenges. I want you to have this list of 8 things and making sure that you are implementing this and putting it into practice for at least this last month of the year, if not ongoing, right? We do this by choosing growth in the moment and understanding that every choice either helps or hurts us. It either takes us back a step or it moves us forward. So we just came full circle, right? We said in the beginning that every choice, everything we do, every action that we take either is a step closer to your goals or further away. And so I ask you, what are you going to do today? Are you going to take a step closer to your goals, or are you going to take a step away from them? And then again, ask yourself that same thing tomorrow. And then ask yourself that same thing the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And I want you to have these next to your workspace, revisit them, and start to implement them and put them into practice. And that, my friends, is going to bring you immense success in this business. If you have any questions, feel free to post below. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'm excited to see your success and your growth.